Hello, those of you at home. Here we go. Here's your warm-up. Suppose that the measure of angle HIJ is 106 degrees. Can you find the measures of each other angle? If not, copy the figure down, and we will talk about it. Okay, guys, let's see here. Can I get you up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Let's see here. Excuse me. Let's see. Let me get those. Oh, we got to do a accent card as well. Let's get that in there. There it is. Okay, the deck is loaded. We're set to go. There's our figure. And so I told you that the measure of angle HIJ is 106 degrees. Just to say, this is 106 degrees. Now, something that's really important to bring up right now, guys, is I've had students try to cheat at skill checks. Like when we do our skill check on this, like I'll be like, hey, that's 106 degrees. What's the other one? And they'll be like, I don't want to do all that math. I've got a better idea. And they pull out their protractor. Check if I'm looking. Measure that side. And they're like, ooh, there we go. 59 degrees. Can someone tell me what's happened to this person? Yes, go ahead, Grace.
Well, basically, protractors, this is not to scale.
Yeah,
like,
precisely.
We're just literally drawing something in our notebooks. It's not going to be exactly whatever angle it is.
Exactly. So make sure we're following the labels. Make sure we're following the labels, okay? And not necessarily the measure. I do the best I can. I do the best I can to make it similar enough, but you know, I'm not going to make it perfect. All right. Ellie, what angle feels the most natural to go after next? LED, yes. HIK. And how did you get the measure of angle HIK? Beautiful. And what is that? 74 degrees. How many of us got 74 degrees for HIK? Love that. Did someone go after a different angle first? Go ahead, Treon. What did you go for? Angle KIL. And why did you do that? Okay. So what did you do? If you didn't know this was 74, because you could do 180 minus 74 to find this angle. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So these two angles, vertical angles, have to be congruent, because if these two add up to 180 and these two add up to 180, this has to be the same as this in order for that to work. So it should come as absolutely no surprise to anybody that angle JIL is what, everyone? The measure of angle JIL is 74 degrees. Very good. That's how these things work, and we're in really good shape. Let's see here. Oh, there was something I forgot to mention yesterday that I apologize for. When angles are the same, sometimes we use special markings to say that. So, for example, I would use a single tick to say that both of those are 106 degrees. That's exactly right, Grace. We do 2 ticks for that side right there. Exactly so. And the reason that matters is if you have 2 complementary angles that are congruent, meaning they're the same, you would know that each one had to be 45 because they have to add up to 90 and they have to be the same. Okay, we'll look at some examples like that today, trust me. It's the 101st day of school. Do you guys know that 101 is the non-emergency number for emergency services in the UK? I know, that sounds weird, a non-emergency number for emergency services. I use that all the time. Like when I'm driving, guys, and I see like a ladder on the freeway. Do you need to call 911 if there's a ladder on the freeway? No. Like if there's a toddler on the freeway, you should call 911. But if there's a ladder, could you imagine? 911, what's your emergency? There's a ladder on the freeway! Right? So there's a non-emergency number, and I have it like programmed in my phone so I can tell my like speaker to do it. But wouldn't it be nice if it was just a 3-digit thing? Like, you're like, hey, there's crap on the freeway. And they're like, you know what? We're going to rescue this cat out of the tree. And then we're going to go save this person from a heart attack. And then we'll deal with the ladder.
No. First we're going to do the ladder.
All right. Let's see here. What do we got here? And let's see here. I'm looking for a little bit of help. Elizabeth, what's our first essential question today? Oh, did I forget to update that? Oh, Mr. Petersen. I knew I forgot something yesterday. My apologies, guys. Those are yesterday's. Uh, I got you. Got a pencil?
Absolutely.
Today's essential question, I'm so sorry, is uh, how do we handle variable expressions within angles? I'm going to have to update that. Tut, 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 Mr. Petersen. So fiendish. Oh, it's Yodel for your neighbor's day. Yay! I would just like to put a disclaimer, guys, that I am not responsible for any bodily injury that may or may not occur to you because you're yodeling for your neighbors. Okay? Yeah. By the way, our Jeopardy this week, Geo, the G6 were a group composed of the interior ministers of France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, and the UK, who has since left, and that's why there's no G6 anymore. The six most populous states of this organization of countries, the EU, European Union, is correct. And then Geo is appropriately go. It's go. Mm-hmm. It precisely is. Okay, let's get there, guys. Underneath all this, got a pencil?
Absolutely.
All right, that was a really good absolutely. I appreciate you guys working with me. I think you guys deserve a point. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray! You know what? I forgot to update these scores. So 2, and then these guys are 5. These guys are 1. These guys are 3. Okay, we got it. All right, here we go. So today's topic is variables in angles. Variable expressions in angles. So we're going to start with some complementary angles. So go ahead and draw as best you can a right angle. If it's not perfect, that's okay, guys. Because remember, we follow the labels. If I put a little box there, it's going to be a right angle. Yeah, if I took my protractor and actually measured that, I suspect it's not a right angle. But since we have the box there, we're going to say that it's a right angle. Okay? Now, if I have this angle here, let's call this angle 1 and angle 2. If I told you that the measure of angle 1 was equal to 12 degrees, oh, look at that. Sadie's already grabbing her calculator. She's like, whoop, let me just grab my do you guys know what the measurement of that of angle 2 would be?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and find it, but don't write it down yet. Don't write it down yet. Just find it in your calculator, but don't write it down yet. Teach!
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys noticed on the Pictionary, I did my very best to make that guy look as much like the Go Dog Go Dog. I was trying to do the Go Dog Go. I didn't make him a dog, but all right. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? All right. So you have your number, right? Now I'm going to do something. Got a pencil? You're going to write down the measure of angle 2 equals 6x minus 9. And I'm going to put that in parentheses and put a little degree sign. And the reason I have to do that, guys, is because if every number is not a degree, then things aren't going to match up. So what we're going to say here, guys, is did we just change the measure of angle 2? Yes or no?
No.
No, but we've added a little bit to it. So not only do I want you to tell me the measure of angle 2, I also want you to tell me what the value of x is. So when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, you already know what the measure of angle 2 is. How can we find out what x is? Give it a try and teach. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, can I get you guys back up here in five, four, three, two, one. Sean, what was the measure of angle 2? Measure of angle 2 was 78 degrees. How did you get that? 90 minus 12. Very good. And then how on earth can I use that to find out what x is? Let's see if I can get a little help. Claire, how can I use that information to find out what x is? From 78? And I think that's 69. Okay, and now what? And we get 11.5. How many of us got 11.5 for that? Okay, a few of us. Let's check if that's right. We can check if that's right by doing 6 times 11.5 minus 9, which is 66 plus 3, which should be 69 minus 9. Uh-oh. That's only 60. Yeah, guys, I really recommend. Now, when you take the skill check on this, I'm going to tell you guys that you do not have to show me the steps to get credit. But do you guys see how if we wrote that down, that would have avoided that mistake? So if we actually write down the equation 6x minus 9 equals 78, talk to me, Claire, about how you would solve that. That would make 6x equal to 87. And what does that give you? 14.5. How many of us got 14.5 for that? There we go. And then you can check to see if it works. Is 6 times 14.5 minus 9. 6 times 10 is 60, plus 24 is 84, 87. So you get 87 minus 9, and that is indeed 78. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. So x would be 14.5, and the measure of angle 2 would be 78 degrees. How many of us are feeling fine and dandy about that? You guys doing good? Okay, love that.
I have a quick question.
Yes, please, Grace.
Why is this necessary? Like, I mean, if we already were able to like figure out what the angle is, why do we need to write the equation?
Give me 2 problems. This next problem, that's not going to answer your question, but the one after it is.
Okay.
How many of you think you know what I might do? A couple of us have some ideas. Okay, I think Bradley knows because he looked mad about it. I was looking at people like, maybe, and I see Bradley like, I think I know exactly what you're about to do. But not yet. Not yet. Here we go, guys. Let's do this one. This is going to be a pair of supplementary angles. And we're going to go in honor of our friend here, B R A D.
Brad.
All right. Okay. So we're going to say that the measure of angle BRA is equal to 72 degrees, and the measure of angle BRD is equal to 10 minus 4G degrees. Now, there's something about this answer that might upset you, but that's going to be okay. We'll see. We'll deal with it in just a minute. So I want the measure of angle BRD, and I also want the value of G. And I want you to look out. This value might upset you, and I wonder if you can talk about what you think some people might find upsetting about the value for G. Talk to each other, and let's see how it goes. Teach? Does this trouble you, Sophia?
Yeah.
Why? So,
Is it so right?
we'll talk. We'll talk. Okay. Take another 25 seconds. Okay, 28. I'm feeling generous. You guys drive a hard bargain. Okay, can I get you guys back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Elizabeth, what did you get for the measure of angle BRD? How many of us got that the measure of angle BRD was 108 degrees? Good, because those are supplementary angles. They add up to 180 because together they make a straight angle. And how did we use that to find out what G was, Elizabeth? What'd you do? I'm going to write down the whole equation. 10 minus 4G equals 108. And I'm going to take away 10 from both sides. That gives me what? What would that turn my equation into? What was that? On this side? And what's on the other side? Aha, 4G. Aha, negative 4G. So go ahead. What's my next step here, Elizabeth? And what do you get? Oh, go ahead. 98 divided by negative 4. Negative 24.5. Elizabeth, is there something about that you find troubling? Okay, I love that. Okay, yeah, but and so even if that doesn't trouble you, why do you think that does trouble some people? How many were troubled by that, first of all, even if it was just for a second? Okay, Elizabeth, do you know why? Why do you think that would trouble somebody? No, I know exactly what you're saying. A negative angle sounds weird, right? Like if somebody said, "Hey, hey, Joseph, up there building the house, yeah? Hey, make sure the roof's at a negative 47-degree angle." And Joseph's like, "Okay." Right? Like, what do negative angles mean? I'll tell you right now that negative angles do have a meaning, but you're not actually going to talk about it until secondary math 2, which is in a couple of years. Negative angles do have a meaning, and so you're right to say, wait a minute, I shouldn't be getting negative angles, but does someone think they know why this answer should not be troubling after all? Why shouldn't it be troubling? It's named after Bradley after all. Bradley, why? Why? Yeah. Exactly. It's okay, guys. The variable is negative, but the variable is not an angle measure. The variable is just this thing kind of stuck to my angles. So it's okay to have negative variables, but I'll tell you right now, if ever you're doing a problem and you get a negative angle measure, something has gone wrong. Something's gone wrong if you get a negative angle measure, but everything's okay if you have a negative variable as long as it's a positive by the end. All right, as promised, Gracie asks, why, oh why, do we have to worry about what x is? So let's go ahead and draw a right angle. And we're going to put a little box on it to say that is indeed a right angle. And you know what? We're going to name this one. You know what? Actually, I need to adjust this a little bit. Should look a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's the wrong one. Hang on. There he is. Yeah, yeah, there we go. There he is. I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry. This is going to be GRAC. I did the best I could, Grace. Let's see here. Oh, I can barely read what that says. Okay, the measure of angle RAS is equal to 3y minus 7 degrees. RAC, excuse me. RAC And then the measure of angle GAR equals, I can barely read. Hang on, let me make sure I don't lead you guys astray. I'm going to try and make sure I don't lead you guys astray. So that should be, that should be, let's see here, 9 plus G degrees. There we go. So when I say teach, I want you guys to say, okay, what is the measure of angle RAC? What is the measure of angle GAR? And what is the value of, sorry, that's supposed to be a Y. Sorry. My handwriting is garbage on these. I need to fix that up. That was about to be really nasty, wasn't it? Yeah, they're both Y's. So the measure of angle RAC is 3Y minus 7 degrees. The measure of GAR is 9 plus Y degrees. When I say teach, I want you guys to say, okay, what makes this problem different from the ones that we were doing? And by the way, Bradley, is this what you were imagining? Yeah, there we go. He's still mad. All right, let's see what you guys can do with it and teach.
What if we said y is equal to which means we can solve for y. I did the equation and that's different. I understand. Not y equals 8. Is that wrong?
How did you get that?
I did 3y minus
Oh,
7.
you said them equal to each other. But do we know that those angles are equal?
Wait, what do we mean? No, they're not.
Yeah, if I had put two little marks with the single slash on there, right? Then you would have known that where they were equal and you could have done that. But we actually just know we know something else about these two angles. It is. Mhm. What do we know about those two angles if we don't know that they're equal? Oh, we don't know that, right? That's the thing. If they were congruent, they'd have equal measures. But I don't know that they have equal measures.
What's the word for
Oh,
when
do you
they
mean
add up to
complementary?
90?
Yeah, they add up to 90. So can you turn that into an equation? If you know those two angle measures add up to 90, how do we turn that into an equation? Okay. Take another 33 seconds. So what do we know about these two angles, Elizabeth?
What times 3 divided by 97?
Well, you're right. We don't know. They might be, but we don't know if they are. But what do we know about them? Yeah, there you go. How could I turn the fact that these two add up to 90 into an equation? There you go. That's what I would do, something like that. I'm so pretty. I was gonna say it also looks like maybe my screen is loading, taking forever if it's like spinning. All right, hooray! Way to go, Arden. Okay, can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? So I had a couple people try some different things, guys. One of the things I saw was people were trying to set these two equations equal to each other. But in order for that to work, what would we have to know about those two angles? What would we have to know about them, Holland? We'd have to know they were congruent. Like, that's exactly what you would do if I did this. If I did that, that would totally work. But then you would actually feed that number back in and find out that it doesn't actually work out, so we're going to get rid of those.
Yeah, because like 90 divided by
Yeah,
2.
exactly. So let's see, John, what did you do? What do we know about these two angles? That's right. So how can I turn that? Let's get those voices off, guys. How can we turn that into an equation that we can actually work with? Equals, yeah. And that is an equation that we can try to solve here. Okay, well, hold on. It's Mickey Mouse. You guys have had Mickey before, right? You guys have not had Mickey before. Oh, sixth period had Mickey. Okay. Mickey comes with a story and a costume. So, guys, my very first year here at Wasatch, they were like, hey, it's going to be Disney Day, so everybody dress up in Disney stuff. And I did not have any Disney stuff. So I just went out and bought these mouse ears. Um, and you know what's weird is that, like, you can kind of tell when students are like, there's. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you come to school and everyone's sad for no reason? And it's like the whole day is really quiet and everyone just seems really bummed out. It was one of those days, and at first I thought it was just a normal thing, but I was asking, I was like, what's bumming everybody out? And they were like, I don't know. And I was like, are all your classes like this? And they're like, no, like we were fine until we got here. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. And then a girl pointed out, and it was actually her name was Catherine, and she drew that thing because we figured it out, guys. I don't know what it is, but there's something about these ears and this face, and when they come together, it makes people sad. Like, it's not funny, it's sad, but it's actually really funny that it's sad. So right now I want you to keep track of your mood. Where are you feeling right now? I'm going to put these ears on, and when I turn around, it's not everybody, but it's a lot of people. They literally feel themselves get sad, and then they laugh about it because it's really funny that these ears make people sad. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, you guys got to stock your mood here? Okay, here we go. How many of you felt yourself get sadder? You don't know why. Like, yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but it is. I don't know why these ears make people sad, but they do.
But it makes people laugh about being sad.
It's true. Oh, yeah. But that's why I have to give you that explanation. If I just popped them on and started doing the voice, you guys would suddenly be like, why am I so sad all of a sudden? But if I tell you, it's actually really funny that this thing ruins your mood. Anyway, I got to do the voice too, so. Me. All right, here we go. All right, Sophia. If I need to solve this equation for y, what's going to be my first step? A mystery mouse one? So it turns into 4y, and then what? So 4y plus 2 is equal to 90. How many of us got 4y plus 2 equals 90 as part of our steps? All right. You guys are doing great. I appreciate you focusing, doing all the right things. Can I get a hot dog, hot diggity dog? I was a little staggered, but that's going to be all right. Okay, Sam, what am I going to do next? Uh-huh. Oh, Well, let's talk about that in a minute. On either case, Sam, how would you solve this equation if you had to? Take 2 away from both sides. That gives me 4y is equal to 88. Then what do I do? And that should give you y equals 22. How many of us were able to get that y equals 22? All right, good job. Now, Sam, you said you did it a different way to get y equals 22. What'd you do? Okay, well, that works, but I'm going to say that some of these might have been tricky to find. Like, I'm not sure that you would have found 14.5 really quickly, or what if it was like 3.8 repeating? You know what I mean? That could be trouble. So you want to make sure that you're aware of all the ways you can do it. So we're going to go ahead and put 22 down for y. We're a third of the way home. Uh-huh. All right. Sadie, what am I going to do with that 22? Sure. Which one would you like to do first? Sure. That's 3 times y minus 7. Oh, no, I have to do the song. Oh, boy. Here we go. Hang on. I got to get this thing going as soon as it comes up. Oh, 2 hours for you. DM emulator software for the TR30X slash TR34 multi-view. DM calculators, Texas Instruments, validating software license, ... Oh, it's still loading. I don't know what to do, guys. Oh, there it goes. All right. Thanks, little fella. All right, so we're going to go 3 times 22 minus 7, and I get 59 degrees. So the measure of angle RAC is 59 degrees. Now, yeah, so Sadie said let's replace it in both of them. Can someone think of another way we could come up with GAR? Go ahead, Ellie. Yeah, and you could do that. Either way works, though. 9 plus 22 is 31. Yeah, so 31 degrees. How many of us got 59 degrees and 31 degrees? Or see how we got it, or feeling fine? All right, looks good, everybody. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, got a pencil? I don't know. It was like kind of a goofy laugh, actually. It was a goofy laugh with a a Mickey voice. And that's I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, here we go. Whoop. So we're gonna go ahead and label this MICKY. All right, here we go. I'm going to make this angle 8 minus 5. Let's go D for Donald Duck. Degrees. And this angle 77. Nope, sorry. Wrote it down wrong. Sorry, gang. Let's see here. There we go. 115 plus 2D degrees. All right. I want to know the value of D and the measure of all the angles. Go ahead, guys. When I say teach, give it a try, and here we go. Oh, boy. Teach.
That straight line ain't
You know, we got less than 10 minutes, buddy. We got to finish it out today. Let's do it. Okay. Hey, in the interest of time, let's get to it. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Eliana, how did you manage this guy? What's the first thing you did? Awesome. Since these are vertical angles, we know they are congruent. So how can I turn that into an equation? Awesome. All right. Thank you, Eliana. How many of us, by raise of hand, are on board with Eliana so far? We can set those equal to each other because vertical angles are always congruent. Now I've got to solve this equation. But what will I use to solve it? Is it addition? Subtraction? Hold on. A key? Or the mystery mouse tool? AR, what should we use to solve this next step? Actually, wait a minute, I need to rephrase that. Do you know what we need to use to solve the next step?
Then we have to wait for like 100 years.
Sure, what would you like to add? I'll tell you right now, Ollie, there's more than one way to do it. So my recommendation is to either get rid of the 5D or the 2D. So you would work if you got rid of the 8 first, but I think it might be easier to get rid of the variables to kind of get them on the same side. Keep going. Yeah, if we add 5D to both sides, I get 8 equals 115 plus 7D. Not 70, 7D. Now what am I going to do to both sides to solve this two-step equation, Ellie? Yeah, if you take away 115 from both sides, oh, tools! Let's see here. I don't want to do that in my head. 8 minus 115 is negative 107. Negative 107 equals 7D. Divide both sides by 7, and you get, let's see here, what was it? Negative 107 divided by 7. So we get a really nasty number, which I'm going to go ahead and say, let's round that to the nearest thousandth. Negative 15.286 is D. D is about negative 18.286. Negative 15. Ooh, excuse me. Way off. Negative 15.286. Ellie, what can we do with that in order to find out the measure of the rest of these angles? Yeah, so you do 8 minus 5 times negative 15 we'll do 286. That's what I rounded it. About 84.43 degrees. So that would be about 84.443 degrees. Which means KCY is also about 84.43 degrees. And say it again, Gracie.
Now we're going to need to subtract that from 180.
Yes, you do 180 minus 84.43, and you get about 95.57. All right. There we go. No. That's all we got, guys. Go home, think about this. If you didn't do the self-assessments yesterday, use the time to get those taken care of. You guys did awesome today. I think you guys deserve one more point. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and put your calculators way back to your assigned seats, and I'll dismiss you with the boo.